Yo, yo. Today we're going to be talking about which house Jupiter rules in your chart because that will tell you where you're going to have fortune, abundance, and where you're going to have good luck. And that being said, um, I've literally conducted hundreds of readings for different clients, friends, family, and I've seen these themes play out time and time again. That being said, we'll be going over which houses that Jupiter rules in your chart and what that means for you. So, which house do you have in Sagittarius and which house do you have in Pisces? And those will show two different themes. So, we'll talk about exactly how those play out and stay till the end because I'll tell you how to activate those houses because I'm not somebody that subscribes to impact astrology where you just wait for something to happen, in your life based on transits. I believe in implementing and like taking action. I'm a triple Earth sign. For my big three, Sun, Moon, Ascendant are all in Earth signs, so I'm really practical, and I'm all about finances as well. You can guess what sign I have as my sun sign, but that being said, um, I'm gonna be breaking down exactly how you activate that good luck and that good fortune and high similar frequencies. Welcome back. So, we'll be talking exactly how you activate Jupiter energy. So, first of all, what does this ruler mean based on your houses? Okay, so check which houses you have in Sagittarius and which house you have in Pisces. Um, Sagittarius is about knowledge, expansion, faith, abundance. Pisces is about spirituality. It's also about faith. Um, and it can be, it's co-ruled by Neptune. So again, it's about delusion, open-mindedness, optimism, having rose-colored glasses. So whatever house that you have inside Pisces or inside of Sagittarius is going to experience more growth, more expansion, and more good luck. So that being said, check which houses you have inside Sagittarius and which house you have inside Pisces. And also, there's a full moon happening on January 3rd, conjunct to Jupiter. And it's happening in Cancer. So that is where Jupiter is exalted. So that is going to be a very prosperous time of seeing the results of your patience and results of where you've been investing time, energy, resources. Cancer. So that being said, that's why I made the theme of today's live stream Jupiter rulership. So again, check which house you have in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, and Pisces, which is co-ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Hola, Claudia. That being said, great to have you here. Let me know, what is your ascendant? And actually, most importantly, since we're using maybe Placidus in some cases, let me know which house for you have in Sagittarius and which one you have in Pisces. Okay, so Princess said third house Sagittarius, sixth house Pisces. So third house is about communication, and third house is about your mindset as well. So you experience the most growth and most abundance through having an optimistic mindset and having communication that is based on faith and leadership and conviction. So, as well, sixth house in Pisces is about your routine. Pisces is about going with the flow. So, you'll attract abundance and good luck through having a go with the flow attitude. And Pisces is also a water sign, so it's very, and it's mutable, so it's very adaptable emotionally. So guys, leave a like on this video if you're, resonating, and if you're excited, or if you're excited to hear what this placement means for you and what this ruler means for your houses. But sixth house in Pisces, again, that's work life, routines, habits. Pisces goes with the flow. Um, and sometimes when it comes to your work life, you might have to have faith and conviction. So that being said, let's continue with each of the different houses, okay? Or each of the different signs. Somebody in the chat is saying hi. Somebody said hola. Somebody said their houses. All right, let's do this. Okay. That being said, okay, if Sagittarius rules your first house, by the way, I'll tell you what that means, but also stick to the end to see how you can activate Jupiter energy, because that's going to be the most important part of this video. Is going to teach you how to activate Jupiter energy, how to attain abundance in that house and through that house. Because there's two different types of astrologers in the world, or two different types of people that wait for transits to happen to them, and those that actually activate their transits, activate their charts, and go and make the dream life that they want happen. Okay. So, starting off with, if you have the first house ruled by Jupiter, meaning you have Sagittarius or Pisces there, that means that you yourself are a lucky individual and you have a good mindset. You have Jupiterian kind of traits. So, either you're well traveled, you're knowledgeable, wise, or you are open minded and optimistic, and you go ahead and take more risks maybe than most people, because you might take that for granted, but most people stay inside of their comfort zones. Um, that being said, um, now let's talk about the second house though. So if you have second house ruled by Jupiter, guys, let's talk about that. That's the house of money. Money. Wow, what a good place, right? To have that, because Jupiter expands things. So let's talk about that. If you have Pisces or Sagittarius in your second house, you get good results when you have faith with your resources. Like, you might have a dream that you're pursuing, and you're trying to make something happen in your life, but the resources might be there or not. And you need to just have that attitude of faith to activate that second house. Also, okay, let's talk about Pisces. Pisces is about spirituality. Pisces is about manifestation. So you guys are able to manifest physical things. You're able to manifest money, manifest self worth, abundance. All those things help you in the second house. Also, Sagittarius is about knowledge. So you can make money through teaching, through education, and through a bunch of things. Um, so yeah, guys, don't worry about the guy in the chat. Um, that being said, okay, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Second house in Sagittarius, that's about knowledge. Um, making money from knowledge as well, making money from being a leader, from wisdom and from conviction. And like, you might have good luck in gambling as well. Not that I want to promote it, and not that I am promoting it. Like, you might have good luck taking good risks, good calculated risks, to be honest. But risk nonetheless, financially. Okay, now let's talk about the third house. One of you guys has it in the third house. Let's see who has it in the third house. I remember. Okay, C. Princess CF5 has it in the third house because she has Sagittarius in the third house. Um, Okay, third house is about being able to communicate to the mindset of other people, being able to influence and persuade other people, being able to, um, you know, understand and communicate how other people understand things and in a way that other people actually agree with you. That is your ability. And, if you have Pisces in the third house, this means that you're a visionary, you're a dreamer, you have great like ideas that are forward thinking. Um, and Jupiter rules those houses. So like a lot of your fortunate kind of events are going to be led from you having faith in your ideas or in something that somebody else told you. Like you will get insight on good things. Like somebody will tell you, for example, about like a new crypto coin or something, and it will actually be something that makes a lot of money. Or somebody will tell you about a new like business model that people can start online, and it will actually be a good idea that ends up making you a lot of money or somebody else a lot of money, and you're like, dang, I wish I would have listened to it. But again, third house is about information. So that being said, um now let's talk about the fourth house. um and okay, let's talk about the fourth house. If you have Jupiter ruling your fourth house, meaning you have Pisces or Sagittarius in your fourth house, let me know if there's any of you guys that have that placement. But also, guys, leave a like if you guys are enjoying this live stream and if you're excited to hear which houses that you have. That being that being said, um, what was I gonna say though? Oh yeah, stick to the end because I'm gonna tell you guys how to actually activate Jupiter energy in a practical, no nonsense way. Okay, I have Capricorn in my chart, Taurus in my chart. I like to have practical application of astrology and not wait for things to happen um happen to me. There we go. Um, bonjour à toi, ami. Bonjour, David Tourmi. Okay. Hello, Barbara. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Robin. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Ahadora. That being said, oui, je vais bien, mon ami. Et toi? Allons-y. I'm in France right now, so a lot of French people are joining this chat. So, that being said, I guess YouTube is just, I guess, showing me to like French people or something because I'm in France. Usually I have an English speaking audience. There we go. Um, all right, so let's talk about fourth house. So if Jupiter rules your fourth house, meaning you have fourth house in Sagittarius or Pisces, both of those signs are ruled by Jupiter. So your fourth house is ruled by the planet of fortune, expansion, abundance, and travel. So look, you would do well and feel more abundant living somewhere overseas or far away from your place of birth. That's just a fact because Pisces represents, overseas places. Sagittarius represents foreign places. So, moving somewhere abroad can actually be somewhere that you experience more fortune, more abundance, especially if it's a place that's, cheaper in terms of cost of living. If you were born in like an expensive first world city, there's a lot of nicer tropical places that can give you a way better quality of life, especially if you have fourth house ruled by Jupiter like this. Okay, next let's talk about fifth house. If your fifth house is in Sagittarius or if it's in Pisces, let me break down exactly what this means for you. That your house is ruled by Jupiter. So, fifth house is about creativity, romance, sex, fun, children, and it's about risk. So, all like specifically It is about passion and creation. So it's ruled by Jupiter in this case, if it's in Sagittarius or Pisces, and that just brings an abundance of those things. Okay. So you have an abundance of passion, sex, romance, children, and fun. So, for example, Scorpio ascendant has the fifth house in Pisces. Scorpio is about sexuality, it's about taboo, it's about, it's about having fun. Having fun. Okay. Now that being said, if you have what's the word for this? If you have Leo ascendant, your fifth house is in Sagittarius, so it's ruled by Jupiter too. You are the sign of creativity, romance, sex, fun, and children and risk. So obviously, this house is very activated for you. It's ruled by Jupiter. So at the end of this live stream, I'll tell all of you guys basically how you activate Jupiter energy, because it's not just going to come to you and fall into your lap. Like, since when did life just happen like that? You have to actually implement the traits of Jupiter, right, to get Jupiter results. All right. And there's a very specific way to do that. So, that being said, leave a like on this video if your fifth house is ruled by Jupiter, meaning if your fifth house is in one of Sagittarius or Pisces. Okay, and leave a like if you're looking forward to your placement. So, you know what? This is interesting. I don't know why on YouTube in the chat it puts a number one, number two, number three next to people's names. I don't know what that means. Did we like have some sort of competition that I'm not aware of? Like, okay. Um, okay, that being said, let's talk about the sixth house. Um, okay, sixth house in okay, your sixth house is ruled by Jupiter if it's in Sagittarius or Pisces. Uh, Pisces is co-ruled by Jupiter or Neptune. Your sixth house is about work. It's about habits, your routine, your day-to-day life. So all of those things um, can have an element of risk, travel, spirituality or faith, or it will involve education, knowledge, etc. Your sixth house is going to experience an abundance of health, miracles, good luck if you absorb a lot of knowledge, if you learn a lot about health and you learn a lot of practical things. Like if you want to improve your health, learn a lot of things about health and about the things you want to improve specifically. So that being said, now let's talk about seventh house. If you have the seventh house inside, interesting, my top fans. Wow, that's really cool. Similar frequency says they're your top fans. Well, you're my top three. Awesome. Like, okay, that clears things up for me. I guess my number one fan is the guy that said shut up a lot of times. Dude, that is funny. Okay. That's funny. That's one way to show support. Um uh that being said, leave a like on this video if this resonated, and like if you're ready to implement, the traits of Jupiter and the traits of good luck and fortune, because I'm going to break down exactly how you activate your abundance, your fortune, and your Jupiter energy. There's a very specific way to do it. And I've done hundreds of chart readings and I see it time and time again. Okay. And I've seen these themes play out. So, that being said, now let's talk about the seventh house. Okay. Seventh house in Sagittarius. Or seventh house in Pisces. Like if your seventh house is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of abundance, luck, optimism, faith, and good fortune, You get your luck from other people in some way. And funny enough, like both signs that have this are ruled by Mercury. You have ascendant in Virgo or in Gemini because those are the opposite signs. So you're really ruled by the mind. And that teaches us something very good about, or very important about about Jupiter ruling your seventh house, or Jupiter. It teaches us that in order to get good fortune, you have to get out of your head, out of your mind. Your mind is your mindset. Your mind is what causes you to manifest all the situations and the decisions and the results that you have in your life today. And overthinking will take you away from good fortune. Jupiter Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and that's a fire sign. It's about taking action, and it's about not overthinking. That's why it's about risk. That's why it's about luck. So if you have your seventh house ruled by Jupiter, number one, you're ruled a lot by the mind, so you get a lot of your fortune from other people. Other people play the balance of optimism in your life. Other people who think less and who are more optimistic and who are more open-minded really open up your horizons when you let them into your life, or when you have a relationship to them. Your partner will usually be a little bit more optimistic than you, less of a skeptic, and less, negative, like all the negative traits, opposite of the negative traits of your ascendant. Okay. But of course there's positive traits to your ascendant, but I'm just saying, like, the lower vibration traits are like, you know what take away from your Jupiter energy. All the fortune is overthinking. Overthinking takes you away. Smiling Door says, tell my fortune. um Let me know what sign, or what house is, I guess, what house is in Sagittarius or in Pisces for you. And you can let me know where Jupiter is. But that being said, um now let's talk about eighth house. Okay. So if you have the eighth house ruled by Jupiter, meaning the eighth house in Pisces or in Sagittarius, it's ruled by Jupiter. So that's about abundance, fortune, good luck, expansion, knowledge, and faith. Your eighth house is about the darkest times in your life. So through the darkest times in your life, you will come out the other end a more abundant person. You will connect to faith and good fortune and optimism through overcoming dark periods. Now, eighth house is also about what's hidden, what's underneath the surface, what's secret. Um, it is also about, a lot of other things in astrology, like shared money, rebirth, and death. Um, it is about trauma, and it is about obsession. So, um, that being said, like, you can get a lot of abundance through marriage and shared, money, or through an inheritance as well. Um, and yeah, um, that's what the eighth house means. Of course, there could be more to it. That will really depend on where Jupiter is placed in your chart. So now let's talk about the ninth house here. All right. So with ninth house, um, being ruled by Jupiter, this means if you have the ninth house in either Sagittarius or Pisces. And by the way, stick to the end of this video to find out how to actually use Jupiter energy and tap into abundance and fortune. So again, your ninth house is about your beliefs. The ninth house is about travel. The ninth house is about fortune. Um, the ninth the ninth house is about expansion, uh, higher education. So with your ninth house being ruled by Jupiter, you're going to experience a lot of expansion and fortune through literally traveling, opening your horizons, learning new things from gurus and mentors, um, and ultimately, yeah, those all those things right there. Also, um, yeah, if your ninth house is in Pisces, you're gonna also see some fortune through, let's see, what's the word for that? Oh yeah, faith, spirituality, detachment, manifestation. So have an open mind, and literally your life will be guided. That's your luck, and that's where your fortune comes from. If your ninth house is ruled by Jupiter. So now let's talk about if your 10th house is ruled by Jupiter. This is your house of career and status. Is your public image, your reputation, your ambitions and goals, and your legacy. Similar frequency says Sagittarius is in my ninth house, Pisces is in my 12th house, but a portion of it is in my first house, Pisces ascendant. So your first house is ruled by Jupiter. So you yourself will be a more lucky and prosperous person if you embody Jupiter traits. There's a very specific way of doing that, and I'll go over them, partly towards the end of this live stream. And then in terms of Jupiter ruling your ninth house, Sagittarius being there, again, travel, education, getting mentorship, um, following in the footsteps of people that have already done what you want to do in life and getting their guidance is going to give you the best results, and the most eye-opening experiences, um and ultimately, you know um having faith and having an optimistic mindset is going to give you direction in your life. Literally, that's what the ninth house helps with. So as we know, life can be chaotic and go through different turns. So um Sagittarius energy will give you that ability to adapt to change and to have a sense of direction through all the chaos. That being said, now let's talk about yeah, 10th house. So if your 10th house is in Sagittarius or Pisces, it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter represents abundance, fortune, expansion, and good luck. So ultimately, um, your fortune will come in terms of your career. Hello, Samir. Welcome to the chat. Hello, bonjour, pretty Woni 13. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this. 10th house. So, um, yeah, Jupiter rules your 10th house. So, you are going to go ahead and experience, success. You're gonna experience recognition. You're gonna experience success. Yeah, I already said success, but like status, um, and you're gonna experience as well, reaching goals that other people envy and other people look up to, and being seen as an authority when you have, faith and a sense of direction and a sense of conviction about your career. So ultimately, um, when you embody Jupiter traits, you're gonna go ahead and see the best results there. And I'll talk about how you embody Jupiter traits in a little bit. Stick to the end, and you will literally get the most value out of that, because I'm going to tell you exactly how you implement Jupiter energy, how you actually embody that and activate, good fortune. Because most astrologers will not tell you this, and most astrologers have a fatalistic view. In other words, they just tell you placements, and they let you wait for that. wait for that to impact you. So now let's talk about the 11th house. The 11th house, if it's in Sagittarius or Pisces, which are both either, ruled or co-ruled by Jupiter. 11th house is friends, it's network, it's your audience, it's your future goals. So literally I myself have Jupiter ruling my 11th house, and I've built a pretty big audience on astrology just by accident. And then I've built other channels where I got very big audiences. Um, and um, that being said, um, Samir wants to meet me. Okay, Samir. But that being said, um, I just hope you're a guy. Hold on. I hope you're not a guy. That's what I mean. Okay. Um, Slip of the tongue there. Wow. That being said, you would think that Mercury is retrograde. Okay. 11th house built a big audience. Um, and again, that's about your community. That's about your future goals. That's about what else? Streams of income. But like, look, guys, you're gonna experience um, you're gonna experience you know expansion and good fortune in your community, in your audience, in your friendships when you become a leader, when you become somebody that has faith, that has conviction, and that embodies Jupiter traits, basically. 11th house is also streams of income, becoming financially independent, and kind of just pursuing your own kind of path and building your own path in life. So, um, that being said, let's talk about now. Okay, the 12th house. The 12th house is about dreams, karma, isolation, spirituality. It is also about hidden enemies. So, your hidden enemies might secretly be your biggest blessing if you have, 12th house in Sagittarius or in Pisces. Like they will literally teach you things, make you more wise, or they will reveal your biggest strengths. So you have to understand, why people are going against you. Because if people feel threatened by you, that means you're doing something right. And you will learn more about your strengths from your enemies than you will about by your friends. Your friends will just tell you nice things. They won't want to disappoint you. And your enemies, by their being threatened by you, they're telling you what you do well. Okay, so that's the lesson of that. And um you have a really big ambitious mindset. Like if you have Jupiter ruling your 12th house, like you have an ability to think of really wild or ambitious dreams and like goals that most people wouldn't have the optimism or the confidence to pursue. And likely you're a Capricorn rising if you have this, and that's the sign of success and ambition. And you need to protect your mindset. So anybody in this chat that wants to actually embody success as well, you need to protect your you need to protect your dreams and your optimism and like your visions from the minds of pessimistic people and people that are gonna doubt those things and discourage you. So especially if you have the 12th house ruled by Jupiter, that's especially true for you. And you will have a lot of good fortune from pursuing your dreams and from having conviction in things that nobody else sees but yourself, which is your visions. So now leave a like if you have the 12th house in Pisces or Sagittarius, and if you enjoyed this first section of the video, um, and if you want to see more live streams. That being said, Now we're gonna go over how you implement this Jupiter energy to attract good fortune. Okay, because as you know, good fortune doesn't fall on on your lap. It doesn't just come to you from the sky. Like it can happen every once in a while, but you have to actually do things, right? So that being said, before I get into that as well, um, the upcoming full moon in Cancer is going to be conjunct uh, to Jupiter in Cancer, so it's going to be exalted there. Uh, and last but not least, like I'll be going over exactly how you can attain fortune and abundance and your exact financial astrology in that um, webinar. So tap the link in the description to have webinar access and the replay access on January 3rd. We'll be going over your exact financial astrology, also how I was able to monetize astrology and make over $20,000 making doing readings, and how you can monetize a spiritual business. But it goes way deeper than that. I go over exact financial placements and how you can monetize them online and receive time, location, and financial freedom. So, and that's what I have been able to do. Living in Spain, making I went from broke and lost as just a student to making anywhere from $7,000 to $28,000 per month online. um, in literally the span of less than 12 months basically. um, so that webinar is going to teach you how to read your financial placements, and I followed my financial astrology, and how you can make that happen for yourself, how you can monetize yourself online, because with Pluto in Aquarius, which is the it's a recent transit, the shift is going from corporations and central authorities towards the collective. The shift of resources, power, and wealth is shifting to the collective. That's why you can see so many people living with time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom on social media these days. You can see 20-year-olds and teenagers, like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, buying Lamborghinis. It's not because they're smarter than you. It's just because the shift of resources is moving to the internet. So I'll be talking about that on the Jupiter full moon, like the moon conjunct to Jupiter on January 3rd. That being said, um, I will now be talking about how you can use Jupiter energy, because um, how you activate your good fortune is you literally need to take risks in life. So you need to, and how I was able to attain making anywhere from $7,000 to $28,000 per month, um, is by literally following my purpose, which was for me a very specific type of business model, which I'll talk about in the webinar. But I had to message so many people, and I had to get rejected so many times just to get one like single yes and one single um, high sale. Like I was selling a service for multiple thousands of dollars, but I had to embody Jupiter energy. I had to keep taking risks through sending messages. It's all a percentage game. And the same thing is with your chart and with your fortune. If you want good fortune in love, and Jupiter is conjunct to your Venus, or if it rules your 7th house or your 5th house, like you need to put yourself out there to enough situations to where you can meet the romance of your dream and like the romance of most people's dreams. Because you will have put yourself out there more times and you have taken more risks than most people. So they don't meet somebody as good as you did. That being said, how you embody, Jupiter energy, and how you take risks is by having delusion and conviction. Successful people, including myself, I would call myself a successful person. have gotten there through having a mindset that is always going to work the next time. Even when they do fail, even when they do start something and it fails, or even when, let's say they're trying to start a YouTube channel like I did and now I have 5,000 subscribers. Even in those first videos when I post something and there was only one view or there was zero views, zero, I just had a mindset that it was gonna get 1,000 views before I posted it. And even when it got zero views, I just had a mindset that my next video is gonna be the one that gets 1,000 views. Then, that video got zero views. Okay, the next one is gonna get 1,000 views. You see the delusion? But what happens is that as you take more risks and as you put more random things out there, eventually one of them takes off. So at one point, in one of my first videos, it was the part of fortune video on my channel, and I experienced, a large influx of views. That's my highest performing video, but that was just Jupiter energy. It's just me continuing to have conviction and faith that something's going to happen. So it allowed me to keep taking the risks and keep risking failure, rejection, nobody watching, nobody every time you post a video, there's a chance when you start out that nobody will like it. But only the delusional people that believe that it is going to get likes are going to keep going. Okay. So, okay. Next, um, if you want to attain good fortune, you need to embody Jupiter energy in your, based on your chart. So, um, you need to learn. You need to keep getting knowledge. Now, this is something I have experienced helped me a lot because I used to not have much knowledge. I used to not be very, smart, and I used to not be having much success. Um, and what caused me to get more success and to start making like more money than my teachers in high school with an online business when I was 17, I was 16 or 17 years old. And I had a different online business than this right now, but I basically did no work and I was getting paid more than my teachers. I was only doing, posting videos just like this, but for a different topic. And what caused me to do that was getting knowledge. So, that's Jupiter as well. Jupiter is a benefic planet and Venus is a benefic planet. There's a very specific way to get good results, to get abundance, get finance. And that being said, um, there's more things about Jupiter that you need to embody in order to have that Jupiter activated in your chart. So one of them is literally to seek mentors. Jupiter rules gurus and teachers. So being able to get the knowledge and learn about, from books, the habits of successful people, and to learn about, business, and to learn about health and fitness and various topics allowed me to have success and um, eventually now at this point get to a point where I'm making $15,000 per month plus. So that is from following my astrological financial purpose. And in the webinar that I have linked in the description as well on January 3rd, I'll be breaking down your exact financial astrology, how to see the financial indicators, and how to actually implement and turn those placements into income. But that being said, all that came from knowledge, okay? One of the things was knowledge. Like most people don't learn things. Most people go through life only consuming distractions. Knowledge will make you wealthy. I forgot the saying. There's a saying where it's like knowledge is something like better than wealth or something like that. But the next thing is, like I said, mentors. Now that this took me to the next level. So whatever house Jupiter rules for you will show how you attract good fortune. But also, if you just want to attract good fortune, abundance, wealth, finances, financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, you need to find some mentors. Somebody, basically, in other words, somebody that's living the life that you want, or you know, uh, is successful, that you can copy and model. And a mentor can start by being a book, a video. So it can, and it can most importantly be a person, because a person can literally pass on energy to you. Um, I invested into mentorships in 2024. One of my mentors was somebody making $130,000 per month at 19 years old. It was a 19-year-old. So that's why I'm saying people are tapping into the energy of abundance with Pluto and Aquarius. And that's why you can go on social media and go on Instagram, and on your feed you'll see like 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds driving Lamborghinis in 2025. Like, it's not because they're smarter than you. It's because we're living in new transits and a new generation. And the opportunity to have time, location, and financial freedom is there if you'll seize it. Wealth is transferring from corporations to the masses. So, anyways, I invested into mentorship, and for them to teach me how to make money online with my financial astrological purpose, which I knew specifically what it was, and I'll talk about that in my webinar and my live stream as well. I'll talk about my journey as well. But basically, by getting that mentor to help me, I literally went from being a broke college student to $19,000 in literally 2 months, within 2 months of joining the mentorship. So after that, I got to a point of $28,000 per month. So that, and my next goal is really 30,000 per month. But mentorship, meaning just getting a guru or somebody that is living the life that you already want to live, to teach you, is the easiest way. Um, and yeah, one of the ways to do that is to pay somebody. Like, you have to pay them, because the reward of them helping you can be much bigger. That's how you need to think about it. You need to think about who is making a lot of income in my dream job, or my way of wanting to do it, and then think about paying them. So, but the thing is, most people don't think like that. But they will spend thousands of dollars. They'll spend $120,000 on a college education, and then finish the degree, and at the end be completely lost and not know what to do next, and struggle to find a job. So pick your poison. Um, so that being said, I literally took my student loans and literally paid some rich 19-year-old who was not very famous to teach me how to make money. And yeah, and to have a guarantee of the results. Like, okay, I'll have this guaranteed result, and then that was enough to teach me. But that being said, um, those are the different traits of Jupiter that you need to embody, that most astrologers would not tell you. But of course, it goes much deeper, and there's a very specific way to implement those things. So, if you want to find out your financial purpose and your astrology, and how the different financial indicators in your chart work, and leave with exactly a specific knowledge of what you're meant to be doing and how you're meant to be monetizing it, join my financial planetary purpose webinar, which is linked in the description. That is where you're going to learn that. And I'm doing that on the full moon in Cancer, which is actually conjunct to Jupiter, and that was not planned. That was just a coincidence. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. And I'm wishing you guys the best of luck. Okay. I'm wishing you guys the best of luck, no pun intended, and similar frequencies. I'll share, you'll share more or you'll receive more information within the webinar. And also the link below will give you access to the replay as well. That's where we'll share it, which is inside that group there. But that being said, um, tap the link below, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. And if you are going to become a fortunate being, and if you're going to achieve success, and if you are going to accept the energy of abundance into your life. And that being said, I'll leave it off here. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.